Not all friendships are meant to stay in your life. Sometimes the people that are draining you the most are the ones that you're trying hardest to keep. It took me literally 25 years to understand this, but learning how to pick the right friendships completely changed my confidence, my peace, and honestly, my whole life. In this video, I want to share all of the lessons that I've learned about friendships that I wish that I knew way earlier. So if you've ever felt like an outsider in your friendship group, the people pleaser, or that friend that absolutely gives everything to their friendships but still feels really alone, this video might change your view on friendships too. Hi, my name is Sia, just a girl from Sydney working in corporate London by day and building my own business by night. In this channel, I share all of the highs, lows, and everything in between of creating my dream life. So this weekend, I went up to the French Alps with a group of my friends, some old, some new, and we literally had the best time ever. And in all of that beautiful snow and the mountains, I sat down and I thought to myself, damn, the girl right now that is in some of the most beautiful and healthiest friendships that I've ever been in is the same girl back then that literally couldn't hold down a healthy friendship for the life of me. I have learned so much about friendships in the last 25 years that I just wanted to put it all in a video and share it with you. Growing up, friendships were really hard for me. I came from Nepal to Australia when I was 8 years old, and I came without knowing a word of English, so that just complicated a lot of things. And across the two countries, I actually ended up going to about 7 different primary schools. So you can kind of say that my whole childhood to adolescence to growing up, all I wanted to do was fit in. I just wanted to be like everyone else. I just wanted to have a sense of belonging, validation, acceptance with the friendships around me. And I think somewhere in chasing that feeling and chasing that sort of companionship, I ended up getting into really toxic, bitchy, and just all around bad friendships. I've grown a lot from that, and I just want to share it with you. The first thing that I've learned that brought me so much more peace in my friendships is that you don't always have to be that reliable, dependent friend. You actually can be the fun friend too. Since I was young, I think someone started putting me in a bucket of she's a great listener, she's loyal, she's dependent, she's reliable, she gives good advice. And I think I ran with that throughout my teens and my early 20s. I thought that the only value that I could bring to a friendship was being that friend that you call when shit hits the fan and you need someone to talk to. Because I thought that that was a really valuable position to be in these friendships. For example, when Jenny broke up with her ex for the 10th time, I'd be the one that she calls. Or when Jenny hates her best friend again, I'd be the one that she'd call to process through that problem. What I didn't start to realize is that being that friend becomes so taxing for so many reasons. Number one, I started realizing that I was solely Jenny's therapist friend. Like, for example, she'd have brunch friends, going out friends, partying friends, etc. But I would be the only one that she'd call when she hit the fan and she needed to talk to someone. I started to realize also that I didn't just start listening to Jenny's problems, I started feeling it too, because I'm an empath. I don't just hear the problems, I feel it as well. So I guess being that friend started to affect my mental health adversely as well. And then the third reason is that it started to get really freaking annoying, because 99% of the time when you are that friend to someone, people come to you for advice, you spend all of your physical energy and your mental energy giving them advice, and then they do the opposite of listening to it and they get back together with their ex again for the 12th time, or she's back with her best friend again. You end up giving so much of yourself to try and stay relevant and in that friendship that you end up giving too much of yourself away. In the midst of this cycle repeating over and over again, I started to realize, hey, I don't always have to be this therapist friend to everyone. I can also be that fun friend, that caring friend, that want to laugh till your ribs hurt friend. I don't just have to be put in that box of being that person to everyone. There is a point where I needed to realize that I was being used for being that dependent, reliable friend. My advice was valuable. It takes a lot of mental and physical energy to give advice to someone, and I started realizing that I need to be more selective about who I share that bit to, because at the end of the day, giving advice is also giving a bit of your time, and time is extremely, extremely valuable. And you don't want to, spend that time, that energy into giving advice to someone that is probably not going to listen to you and do the thing that they've always been doing or go back to their ex. Instead, what I started realizing is that I can maybe help my friends by showing them or pushing them to get the right support that they need, whether it's family or other friends, or maybe to talk to a professional, rather than me being that person all of the time. That also let me open myself up to finding new friendships. And now I'm in friendships where I do give advice and I am definitely there for my friends, but also I'm that friend that they call when they want to have a laugh, or I'm that friend that they want to call when they want to sit down and do a little bit of pottery. And I just started realizing that when I started really putting in my boundaries with that friendship and letting myself add value to a friendship in more ways than just being that therapist friend, I started getting in some of the healthiest and loveliest friendships that I've ever been in. So the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't have to put yourself in that box, and if you are already in that box, you can get out. It's hard. I ended up losing friends whilst I made this transition because I wasn't valuable to them anymore, right? I wasn't just spending hours on a phone call listening to their problems. But you know what? I found new friends. I found new friends that celebrate so many different parts of me rather than just that one part. And I know that this advice can sound really, really mean sometimes, but I think that you really need to protect your peace as well as be that supportive, caring, kind friend. The second thing that has brought me peace in my friendships is understanding that I don't need to have just one best friend. I can have friends for different parts of my life. Growing up, I had a best friend of 11 years. We were inseparable. She was the love of my life and we were best friends to the truest extent. Until about the ages of 18 and 19, when life finally started, reality set in, our friendship burst into a million pieces. Why? It wasn't because we didn't love each other. It wasn't because we didn't care about each other. It was because in that time, we had put so much expectation on each other to fill every single part of our lives that it just got too much. It got too taxing. It got unhealthy and toxic, and the friendship ultimately broke. 5 years later, we've reconnected again, and I couldn't be happier because our friendship now looks more different than ever. It's lighter, it's brighter, and we both needed to realize that you can have different friends for different parts of your lives. It's actually healthier to have friends that fill different cups. So I've got friends now that are my CrossFit friends that I talk about training with. I've got a friendship group here that fills this cup. I've got a group of friends here that I love talking about books with. She's always going to be that friend to me that I scream to the top of my lungs with Taylor Swift on. She's always that friend who's going to know every single part of me from back then. But she doesn't have to live with that expectation that she has to be my absolute everything. She has to fill every single hole in my life. And that has meant that my friendships with her, with other people, are stronger and healthier than ever. The third thing that finally brought me peace in my friendships is understanding that real friends celebrate your uniqueness. Real friends do not make you feel consciously or unconsciously that you all need to be the same. If your friendship group makes you feel like you're trapped in a box, for example, you all need to be wearing the same things, you all need to be doing the same things like drinking or partying, it sounds like a red flag and you need to run the other direction. Sometimes this can happen unconsciously as well, so you really need to think about it. If you gave a differing point of view to your friendship group, would they celebrate it or would they ridicule you for it? Right, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. If any of this resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments below. I love reading your comments. I will catch you for the next one. If you need to do a hard thing today, then go do it because it's got to be done. Bye guys.